Hi there. Good morning to everybody. And I'm here today with Tracy Laqua, and she's the owner of a company called In Exteriors. And she does interior design and renovation. And she's going to tell us all about her business. And I'm really happy to have you here, Tracy.
Thanks so much, Bill. I greatly appreciate the opportunity to be here today.
Excellent. So, why don't you tell us about your business and sort of the history of it? Like, how did you get it started, and and what
Mm,
exactly do you do?
hmm Great question. For me, interior design was not a clear path forward for me. I started, many years ago, working, multiple jobs. I ended up working as a secretary for an interior design company, a commercial interior design company, and a project management firm in Halifax. And then I tell people I was sidetracked for almost 2 decades in automotive finance. And I feel so blessed to have had an opportunity to be in every single role in that corporation, all of which led me to where I am today. So what I discovered a few years ago was that my left brain and right brain are very equal, which is unique, I'm told, and which very much explains why my love for processes and systems is just as great as my love for design and creativity. So, a number of years ago, when I was working in the automotive finance industry, I loved what I did there. It was very analytical, and I loved that. What I discovered is that my creative side was being ignored. So I thought, like just like most people at that time anyway, that was back when HGTV was kind of just starting. And I thought, I just really want to learn how to decorate my own house. And that was my goal. It was nothing more than that. So I started taking a home staging course, had no intention of starting a business. But what I discovered is that I really enjoyed that and I knew I wanted more. So I took an interior decorating program. And I loved that, but I knew I wanted more. And so I finished off with my certification as an interior design professional, all while I was working for another company. And again, didn't have any plans on starting a business. But what happened at that time, I was living in Toronto, but I fell in love and got married and moved to Dundas, Ontario, and commuted to Toronto for about a year, did not enjoy the commute at all. And I said to my husband one day, I said, I think I'd like to start my own business. He said, Oh, in what? I said, Well, I'm just going to jump in and start an interior design and decorating business. He said, Okay. He said, I will support you emotionally, but not financially. And I said, and let me tell you, Bill, that was the smartest thing he ever said to me because from day one, I treated it as a business and not a hobby.
Hmm.
And I think it's very important to make that distinction right from the very beginning when you're starting a business is what exactly do you want that to be? And what do you want it to look like over a period of time? And that was back in 2009. So from the very beginning, I knew that I wanted and needed this business to produce an income,
Hmm.
that it was
Hmm.
not, I did not want it to be something that was going to cost me money or to be, simply an expensive hobby.
Right.
So here we are today, a number of years later. And, I believe that uh, there are many things along the way that have helped me to get where I am today. And one of those things is believing in the value of hiring professionals to help me not only develop and grow as a person, but to develop and grow as a business and a business owner.
Hmm.
And I think it's important to be able to make that distinction and to learn, what your strengths and your weaknesses are. And it's okay to call them weaknesses. I think we went through a period of time and we may still be in that where, people don't like to admit they have a weakness. It's an opportunity. Well, yes, it is, but just call it what it is and find people whose strengths are your weaknesses and help you build your business.
So you built a whole team around you.
I have built a team.
Hmm.
And a team doesn't mean you have to have employees, which I did at one time.
Hmm.
But then, COVID and here we are today. So a team can be, a whole network of professionals that do not have to be employees that are very, very good in their own business, in their own strengths, and can help me to grow and develop along the way and help build that business.
So tell us about some of the projects that you work on. Like, give us an example of a project.
Mm. So we work on many different types of projects. So I'm an interior design professional who specializes in construction management. I didn't always offer construction management services. That's something I've started in the last few years. So honestly and truly, clients will contact us to help them select new paint colors for one room in a house, and that's great. We'll do that all day long. Other clients will contact us because they want to truly renovate their home. And that may be, a powder room, it may be the kitchen, the whole main floor, or it may be the whole entire house, which we have certainly done that. And as well as an addition. The only thing we don't do is build from the ground up. That is not in my wheelhouse. I do not tell people I can do everything because I cannot.
Hmm.
And but our specialty is interior renovations and additions.
Yeah, that's great. Project management. Then you're saying that's part of your left brain, right brain thing. I think that's what you're
Yes.
getting at. So,
Yes.
so how does that make your services different from someone else then?
So there are lots of interior design professionals out there who are very good at what they do, but they choose to do design only. They don't get involved in the construction part of it. So one of the many challenges over the years that we've heard from our clients is fear of hiring the wrong contractor, because nobody wants to be, the headline on the 6 o'clock news where the contractor ran off with all their money, right? Nobody
Hmm.
wants to do that. But people are afraid of hiring the wrong person. So they sometimes will hire, their neighbor's son's best friend who has, company X. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, as long as they are qualified and are able to back up their work, right? So, sadly, sometimes those situations go south, as we would say. They take a hard left turn. When people work with us, an interior design professional who has construction management experience, um, we are able to tap into our trusted network of home builders, contractors, renovators, general contractors, and then all of the trades, electricians, plumbers, HVAC, millwork, carpentry, you name it. We have a great network and we spent years building that network. So when clients hire us, the first question that they will ask is, can you help us find a contractor? And our answer is yes, we can help you do that. So not only do we provide that service to our clients, the clients have a great peace of mind in knowing that the people that we recommend are qualified. We vet them, meaning that we check their insurance, all their insurances, their qualifications, their licenses. We check everything to make sure that they are qualified and capable of providing the services for that particular project and providing them well. So, going back to, left brain, right brain, designing creativity and systems and processes, I'm very much a systems and process person. And I believe very strongly in having a great process in place that will help ensure the success of every project for every client.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's when and how the model lifestyle program was created to really better service our clients. And if I'm being 100% honest, to better serve our clients and to increase efficiencies for in exteriors, right? Because go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask you, tell us a little bit more about the model lifestyle program then.
Mm.
How does that
So
work?
the model, yeah,
Yeah.
so the model lifestyle program, the word model in and of itself, I think gives people the perception of something that is unattainable, right? But for me, for us at In Exteriors, the word model means you. It's you and your lifestyle. So, people ask me what I do. I tell them I create a home that's just right for you, which really means that I create a home that is just right for you and your lifestyle. I
Hmm.
don't believe that people or families should have to fit their lifestyle into a box that doesn't work for them.
Hmm.
How
Hmm.
do we take that box, turn it into a beautiful home that functions and supports and represents you and your lifestyle? And that's what we do.
And how do you figure that out?
So we figure that out by using our wonderful process. Many times when clients call us, they will have an idea of what they want, but their vision on how to get there is not clear. So we help them become very, very clear on what their vision is. And we do that through conversations, through other steps that we have in our process. And we do that um, by offering great concept designs, kind of going through the project outline that includes concept designs, detailed designs. We manage all of the project finances for the project, and we do that. Clients love when we do that because you can imagine if you've ever been through a renovation, which I believe you have, there are many, many times in that renovation to upgrade, not one, but many items. And when you have a neutral third party who is not emotionally attached to that renovation, it's easier for me to say, hold on a second. Do you really want to spend money on this? Do we have to spend money on this? And how will it affect the project timeline and your project budget?
Yeah, they
And
say
it's
they
how
say that. Sorry, they say that the most expensive words you'll hear during a renovation is, "Well, while we're at it."
for 100%.
Uh-huh.
While we're at it,
Yeah,
which is typically said by the contractor,
right.
or while you're here,
Yeah, yeah,
which is typically said by the homeowner.
right,
Well, since
right.
you're already here,
Uh-huh.
can you just do this other little thing, right?
Yeah, it starts to add
So
up.
it does.
Yeah.
And, I feel, sometimes I feel bad for the contractors, to be honest, because when a client calls them first, they go into a meeting at no charge with the client on site.
Hmm.
And the first thing the contractor says is, okay, walk me through what you'd like to do.
Yeah,
And assuming there's two people, two decision makers, they may each have their own idea on what they would like to do. But if they don't have a clear vision, that poor contractor is standing there listening to two people debate over, what they feel should or shouldn't be done. And then they ask the contractor for an estimate. Well, an estimate on what exactly?
right.
You know, so it can be very difficult to expect to have an estimate from a contractor when there hasn't been a clear vision communicated to the contractor.
Yeah, that's why doing that upfront work that you're doing actually will ultimately perhaps save them money, make sure it gets done on time, and also, of course, end up with something that they really like, right?
100%.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, we want, if there's two decision makers, we never want it to be just one person standing back and saying, "Oh, wow, this is fantastic." And the other person thinking, "Well, yeah, it's okay, but I didn't really get anything that I wanted."
right, right. And then they're
Right? So we never
dissatisfied with
want
that.
that.
Yeah,
No,
that could be bad for the
it's
relationship.
definitely
You never
bad. We
know.
want
Yeah,
two people, we want two raving fans
right.
who feel they got everything they wanted, even though they may both have wanted different things.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's good. Well, anyway, we probably could talk about this all day long because it's such an interesting topic, and everybody
We could.
has had some, most people have had at a certain point in their life had a number of experience with this that typically were some were good and some weren't. So you're giving people
Exactly.
more confidence. So
Hmm.
as a sponsor of aisle 10, tell us about, you know, the referrals that you're looking for.
Yes. So great referrals for us are people who are interested in updating their home in some fashion. That may not mean a renovation, or it could mean a full scale renovation. It can be one room, a main floor, their whole house, or an addition. And it would be ideal for us to come into that or to be introduced to those people when they're thinking about it. So they have as much information as they need, and we can help them become very clear on what it is they are wanting for their space. Even if they think that they're not going to start anything for a year, that's okay. We would still love to be introduced to those
Hmm.
people.
And what would be the geographical area that you'd be able to help?
hmm So if we are providing interior design services only, our geographic area is wherever Zoom goes.
Okay.
And I'm really not kidding when I say that because we are able to provide design services virtually. If a client is wanting design and construction management services, then that needs to be, 2 to 3 hours within the Greater Hamilton, Greater Toronto area in Ontario, Southwestern
So that could
Ontario.
include Toronto then.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Right. That's where
Yeah.
I'm from. I guess that's why I'm saying that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good. So is there anything else that we should all know about you and your business then?
So I think, I am completely transparent with my clients. We have a great project management tool. So when we begin working with a client, they have full access to that tool, which means they have access to construction schedules, to all the project finances. We have a team chat, we have a client chat. All communication is done through that tool, which makes it very efficient and provides the client with 24/7 access to what is happening on their project. And part of that tool includes a daily log. So when trades are on site, they are asked to take pictures of what they have done each day, load them into the project management tool. That gives me an opportunity to go in and have a look and see what was done today. And it gives the client an opportunity to go in and see what was done today on site, especially if they're not on site at the time of the renovation.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. That's excellent.
they find that
Yeah.
very helpful. And I don't hide anything from our clients. It's just not worth it. It truly isn't.
Well, I think
So
it's
I
probably easier for you and them if that's what you're doing. I think in the end.
much,
Yeah.
much easier,
Right.
much easier.
Everybody's following along all the way along. So
It is.
there's
Mhm.
no oh my god, I didn't know we were doing that or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in addition to interior design and construction management services, we also offer our clients interior decorating services. So we carefully curate all of the items that need to be in their home. So when you think of all the finishes and fixtures and uh, furniture, everything that is in a home, we will source and curate all of those items for the client as well.
Hmm.
So it truly is, I really don't like to use the term, one-stop shop or turnkey, process, but that's exactly really what it is because we truly take the clients from vision clarity and concept through to the very, very end, and we manage everything in between.
Well, that's amazing. Okay, so in the information that we have with this video, there's a link
Yes,
to your website. There's your email and phone number and everything.
yes,
So everyone knows how to get a hold of you.
yes.
So if any of you on aisle 10 have someone that wants to do a renovation or something, like friend or colleague or something, then I suggest you might refer them to Tracy because I'm pretty confident that they're going to be really happy that they did.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay. Thanks.